the hips, but in all reality, you are rolling the hips. Move your head that way. The whole thing is that I feel whenever I'm on my knees, I can't really effectively apply enough pressure, and it forces my hands to have to be committed to really cross-facing because I don't feel that I'm applying a lot of pressure. Sierra, can you take that switch on my phone and put it on mute on the left side? Yes, sir. Okay. So as I'm here, what I want to do is I want to just extend my hips as I begin to, this is reverse crossface. This is a good crossface, but what I want with the crossface is to take his neck and head offline, okay? And I want to keep my hands off the mat, so I'm going to roll the hip this way as my right hand blocks his hip, and I'm rolling his face with my hip. I feel I'm too much chest here. I'm going to dig my toes in, and I'm going to move my chest up, so that as I'm walking around his head, this is what I like to call angled north-south right here. And it gives you an opportunity to roll the hips, and your feet are always alive. This does you no good, because now I'm just like basically dead here. Here I'm active, and I can drive forward. So as he's moving around, I'm about as far from a half guard as I can be right here. And I'm trapped in it, and I'm framing his hip, and I can always rotate my hip onto his face, which makes it very difficult for him now to keep going to the right, because his face, I think, is pointed to the left. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay? So if I want to walk around this way here, I now drop my right hip, okay? And I'm blocking his hip, trapping this arm. Because in reality, I just want to make them wear out right here as I begin to get their arms out of position, okay? Getting the arms out of position is something that becomes very normal because they're going to protect their face and their upper body with their arms typically, okay? So as I'm here and I roll here, they're going to want to get the arm into, to protect it here. This is where you can get the arms out of position right here. And from here, man, this is not very good news for him, because from here, if his arms are here trying to frame and my elbow's on the inside here, okay, I can begin to come back here, roll them this way, and oftentimes this happens here as you go basically for with this head-on trick, let's say. I'm gonna reach with the left, okay? I go here, or if you can, here, and I'm just gonna drop my shoulder. It's kind of like a Bravo choke, but head-on choke right here, all right? We go here. If he dips his arm through here, I control it here, and I keep rolling the hip because he's gonna want to be framing my hip, yes. And in order to frame it, I have to keep rolling it, or I go out, in, and roll, and roll, and roll. And see how uncomfortable it is. And I block his hip, and I control that arm, okay? Because from here, block your feet to the left, okay? From here, what I may want to do is grab his head here as my armpit now aims for his chin. And I want my right hand to be right here. I mean left hand to be literally by my chest as my armpit is in his chin. And hopefully I'll frame the hip. And now I'm just gonna crawl away. Okay? As I'm just trying to pull his head out of his shoulders while I'm blocking his hip, because his defense is gonna be to move his hip to the right as I crawl this way. If you notice, I'm doing a reverse army crawl. So this is a good setup for Anthony's favorite north-south choke, okay? Let's go. So as I go here, I'm rolling the hips and I'm blocking the hip here, okay? If you notice, my left hand is pinching here, and I'm constantly rolling, because this leaves his head open. And as I go here, I can hook his head here, and now I can begin to, with this hand, walk your feet to the left. Grab here or block here. Here, as I begin to go here, and I'm gonna get my head down as I begin to crawl back. And I'm crawling backwards to my left, towards his right shoulder, as I'm straightening this out, and I'm squeezing, crawling, squeezing, and finished. Does that make sense, guys? Okay? So basically your position, if we go from here, you watch where the arms are. If you trap the arm, let's say I'm here, and all of this should be off the mat. Okay, here, because this frame is not very effective. as I reverse here, and I go this way here. So his head is exposed as my hand is just jamming his hip, just with my wrist. I'm not grabbing anything here. As I roll across this way, here, here, here. I can slide down and go here. And I just want to be able to guide my armpit towards his chin here. My right hand grabs his hip, and I bring my head down in his armpit as I'm walking, breathing, walking, breathing. And I'm just pulling his head out this way here as I'm squeezing, walking, and I'm framing his hip. So if you notice, my feel is I got him good in the armpit, but with the gi, it's a lot more challenging to feel. If you roll the hips and they get their arm on the inside here, or here, look, and you wrap this head, bring your chest back, keep this, and then you're gonna rock him. You're gonna extend. Here you can even do this, or cover their eyes, and you go, shh. Okay? So if the arm goes through, if he pulls his arm out, and you're here, okay? Yeah, and this hand blocks the hip as you crawl this way, and your right hand is like on your chest, and his eyes scoot this way. Okay, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Andrew, please go. Are you squeezing